Oh, just start talking. Just start talking. Right. How do I start this? I don't know how to stop being vegan. Let's start there. No, that's crappy. There's a statistic about the amount of people that give up veganism. The new trend in veganism just now. My wife really wants me to give up veganism. How do I start this? Here. Hi everyone, in this video I want to have a discussion, a thought process. Just now, in the vegan online community, there seems to be quite the fad just now for people giving up veganism, people going back to meat eating and all that kind of stuff. And there's even statistics. There's statistics here online saying up to 84% of people who have adopted vegetarianism or veganism at some point in their lives have gone back to eating meat. It doesn't say exactly the reasons why. It's not saying if it's health reasons, diet reasons, or social reasons, or pressure reasons, all that kind of stuff. And as many of you will know, I'm not 100% vegan. 100% vegan is not possible. I'm what I promote myself as pro-vegan. Somebody who is like, yeah, you're totally right. All vegans are right. The diet, the environmental, the animal, the ethical, the moral aspects of veganism is spot on. I don't spend any of my money on vegan products, on non-vegan products, apart from honey and some chocolate, and maybe the pizza every so often. Massive social pressures there, but you won't ever see me going down the aisles of Tesco's going, oh, chicken, oh, beef burgers, oh, sausages, love all that. Let's go get some fur coats. That sounds fantastic. So I'm somebody who admits my flaws in kind of determination with veganism. Good chocolate bar here and there, honey. My veganism is limited to the animal kingdom rather than the insect kingdom. Once it gets down to honey and bugs and what was it? Apples aren't vegan. Some apples have a shine on them, which is made from shellac, which is made from beetles somehow. So you can't have apple. You know, I'm like, don't care. I'm just not eating like animals. So that's where I am. But I'm very much pressurized by other people to give up being vegan. When I say other people, it's really just my wife. She's like, do you think you're obsessed? I'm like, we'll be sitting watching TV and I'll be watching something. There was something about the independent news program, independent newspaper. And they had a little video saying how farmers in Holland or Denmark, we were offered £6,000 for dairy people, £6,000 to go in and film the life of a dairy farm, and farmers were like, "Nah, you're not getting in." They're like, "But we're offering you free money for us to just come and see what you do naturally." They're like, no, you're not allowed to see it. And it was a bit of a kind of a story about how the dairy industry is so horrific that even when dairy farmers, who are not making a lot of money, they say, when they're offered thousands of pounds for something which is effectively unobtrusive to them, they're rejecting that just because of the potentially bad press that it would give them. You know, the actual horrors of the dairy industry. So yeah, so I'm just sitting there watching that, and then my wife's like, "Do you think you're obsessed? Do you think you've got a problem with that?" And we had a big discussion. I was like, "I don't think I'm obsessed, but I think our diet is something which we consider 3-4 times a day." And if it's not the times that we're eating, it's the times that we're thinking about eating. And it's the times after we've eaten that we've thought, oh, that was a great meal kind of stuff. Or it's talking about what we're doing at the weekend, what should we buy for food. Food in our culture is a 24-hour kind of thing. So when you go vegan, people may think you're obsessed, but that's because it's such a major part of your life. And on top of that, when people hear you're vegan, you'll have a million questions. Why? Where do you get your protein? What about vitamins? What about minerals? What about where do you get your calcium? How do you keep your muscle? Do you feel? And then it's like, do you feel more energetic? What about things like honey? What about things like wool? What about, and you're just like, whoa. So what about people? What about abortion? What about, you're like, whoa, hold on there. I'm just not eating some animals. All that stuff. I haven't done that research yet. So if you're somebody who's been promoting veganism for a long time, you need to have a good you need to do like a bloody PhD on veganism and know all the ins and outs and be prepared for the myriad of questions that you're going to have thrown at you. And again, a lot of times questions are thrown at you quite legitimately. Like, oh, why do you do that? What do you feel? How do you do blah, blah, blah? What meals do you eat? And sometimes you're just like, I can't be bothered talking about it. So, and you've got to really balance the, here's the information to, oh, I'm being preachy. I was like, why don't you drink milk? That doesn't hurt a cow. Sometimes even just telling people that actually the dairy industry is horrific. For a cow to be producing milk, it needs to be constantly impregnated, and the baby cows, if they're taken away, whenever they're born, if they're boys, they're shot because they're not profitable. And then they're like, oh, too much information. Why are you telling me all these horrible things? Oh, you're so preachy. Oh my God, you're obsessed. So you've got to, so not only do you have to know all the facts and follow those facts through and know the contradictions within veganism as well, you've got to be prepared to present it in a way which your audience is able to take it in without feeling like you're being preachy. And it's such a fine line of being vegan. It can be a massive pain in the ass. Again, the diet part of it being such a major. Is that when you get people on TV going, I won't accept British £5 notes because that's got, was it talon? Something in it from a cow or horse or something. So, oh, what about your kid's Pritt stick? Is that made of horse's hooves or something? You're like, right, okay, I need to study this. It seems like everybody knows a little bit of something that any vegan needs to know everything about. Okay, ranting. So I'm not a lot pressurised to give up veganism, but when it's something which is in your family, that my wife actually said to me this morning, is that I really wish, she asked me about wool. She was like, oh, do you think about this town south that should be called vegan wool instead of just wool? And I'm like, I might have an opinion on a town. So as a vegan, I'm now to have an opinion which I need to back up with my morals and ethics on a naming of a town somewhere else in the country. I was like, yeah, maybe. Okay, go for it. And then she's like, what, do you think we shouldn't have wool? And I was like, yeah, probably shouldn't take wool, because I was like, I'll just stop talking. And then she was like, oh my God, why can't we have wool? I was like, because the wool industry, yeah, the shearing. She's like, all we do is shear the animals. I'm like, yeah, but we're really, we're breeding the animals to produce more hair, and some of them are really distraught from it. And from what I've seen of the videos, it's all kind of all. Anyway, and she was like, oh, Dom, sometimes I'd really wish you'd just give up veganism. And I'm like, so do I. And so all this morning I've been thinking, it'd be so much easier if I just gave it up. Going to restaurants, going out for meals, going out for, oh, it's a children's birthday cake. Oh, Logie, it's your cake. Oh yeah, it's your birthday. Yes, it's got eggs in it. I'm like, great. Oh, yeah, sorry, Logie. No, sorry. Can't have any cake. No. Do you not like cake, Daddy? Yes, I like... Yeah, just not just now. Yeah, because I'm not allowed to say veganism in front of you, because that'll blow your mind. My wife will have an absolute meltdown about that. But, yeah, I'm just going to go find your other toys. Let's go with your toys. So, yeah, if I gave up veganism, life would be so much easier. But... How? How do you give it up? I'm somebody who, becoming vegan, I came to it from a point of view of mocking vegans, as all vegans are. And also, and I'm not somebody who got into veganism because I needed to lose weight, or because I had health problems, or because I was disgusted at the taste of smoked sausage, the taste of a juicy burger, the taste of turkey ham dinosaurs. Delicious. I love them. They taste great. They feel great. Didn't have any health problems with it. And also, even when going vegan, I didn't have this, like, so many people go vegan and, like, within a day they're like, oh my god, I haven't eaten any chicken today and I feel amazing. Oh my god, it's just like, it's changed my life. I'm vegan forever. Vegan for the animals, yeah. You're like, you just haven't eaten for a day. Shut up. So I've never experienced any of the euphoria of becoming vegan. The oh my god, I feel great. Oh my god, I can run a marathon. Oh my goodness, all my joints are so much better now. Oh, my gut issues are all fixed, or anything like that. Or oh, I'm able to recover from exercise so much faster. I never experienced any of those magical benefits. I never had any illness that I was like, oh my god, I've got appendicitis. I need to just eat more broccoli and I'll feel better. And I was like, no, nothing. I was like, oh, now that I've stopped having 4 egg omelets, my heart doesn't palpitate as much. I've never had any problems, so it's never been an issue for me. So veganism hasn't really had a major. It's never. I feel it's never given anything back to me. Apart from, yeah, I feel veganism has never really given anything back to me apart from fucking hassle. Yeah. You know, mocking from my parents. My dad constantly going, "Are you still a virgin?" Yeah, Dad. My wife going, "Wish you'd give it up." Oh yeah, we'll have to make a separate plate for Dom. Yeah, anyway. So in some cases, being a vegan, a virgin, can be pretty shit. And again, as I say, like my wife says, why are you always online looking at it? It's like, because I don't know any other vegans. I don't meet up with other vegans. I don't go, and if I did, you probably have an issue with that. And I've got no one else to talk to apart from the people online, or the people doing demonstrations, or the people doing debates online, or all that kind of stuff. That's where I get all my information. That's where I get my motivation. That's where I get my insights into the dairy industry, the chicken industry, the beef industry, the wool industry. And so it may seem like I'm obsessed, but that's because for me to get the information, I need to, and I need a lot of information, so I don't seem or sound like an idiot or contradict myself. I need to be online, researching it all the time. And keeping myself motivated. Again, because I'm not motivated by the fact that I'm having these magical benefits, or I'm saving myself from cancer, or, oh my god, I don't have heart disease anymore. But, so I'm getting to my point here. Point is, I don't know how to stop being vegan. Pro-vegan, if you're going to be pernickety about this. I don't know how to stop, because I was thinking, as I was driving here, I was thinking, what if I just say to my wife, right, I'm going to stop being vegan. There is an aspect of being, if you Google pragmatic veganism, and it's where, and there's stories of this, other people, you know, like somebody who's a vegan, they go meet an old man in a hospice, he's like, oh, share my cake with me. And you're like, okay, eating it. And then the guy goes, hey, I thought you were vegan, why aren't you doing that? And he's like, the old man who's about to die just offered me his cake. I'm not going to say no to an old man who's about to die because of a bit of an ingredient in a cake that he offered me. Oh, but you're not 100% vegan, you're not vegan anymore. Anyway, so there's the idea of being the pragmatic vegan. And I'm sure, was it Abalacil has done a video where, or there's a quote that he said somewhere, it's like, throwing out that peanut butter that's got palm oil, throwing that in the bin isn't going to save any orangutans. And there's a level of pragmatic veganism of going to somebody else's house and they've made a meal for 10 guests, but they didn't make vegetarian falafels. Not, you know, eating that sausage there, or eating that burger there, or not eating the burgers at that place doesn't reduce the amount of harm done to cows. So that idea is that you can be vegan in your purchasing power, in your actions, in your behaviors, but when in social situations, or in ways where your vegan behavior will have no positive beneficial effects on the animals, even to the point where it could be detrimental, where your vegan actions or behaviors in front of other people are detrimental to the vegan movement. You know, always go to a gathering, group of friends, mention that you're vegan, and if they see you eating some food, you're like, well, me eating this, you've already ordered, you've already paid for, ordered, paid for, had delivered these 5 pepperoni pizzas. You've all eaten your pizzas and you left this one here. Me not eating that doesn't somehow stop the pig that was turned into the pepperoni from dying. It has no effect. But maybe you can understand the idea that being a pragmatic vegan, you can get into the conversation there. And they can go, oh, you're being a hypocrite. And it's like, well, I wouldn't buy this. You guys bought it. So with my purchasing power, so can you be a vegan in terms of your own, just, that's it. It's your purchasing power. So I'm not buying any wool. I'm not buying any silk. I'm not buying anything that's not vegan. But if I'm in a place where people are offering, like, what was it, the other one? Oh, I went to, what was it, like, you go to, you're at a hotel, no, you're at a office conference, and they give you a morning platter of food placed on your table, and it's just meat selection, sausage selection, cheese selection. By not eating any of that, granted it may be the best option for your health, but if health isn't an issue for you, by not eating that doesn't somehow reduce the harm to animals. It would have just gone in the bin. Food that would have just gone in the bin helps no one. It would have been wasted anyway. But yeah, so what I'm saying is that there's that idea of veganism, but veganism is in so many aspects. Like, once you've seen the videos of the little baby chickens being ground up, and then you hear about how bad cholesterol is for you if you are somebody that doesn't eat huge amounts of cholesterol containing food. You're like, why would we eat eggs? Why would we do that? And then you think about chicken and stuff like that, and like if I go down to Tesco's for a meal deal, and there's always like, what was it, chicken? Like, everything's chicken, and something. I even saw one the other day, it's like, oh, it's got avocado on it. Oh, what's this? Avocado, and is it like sun-dried tomatoes? No, it's avocado and chicken. I was like, can't have that one. Thanks, Tesco's. Tesco's is always just the falafel wrap and a fruit juice. Anyway, where was I going with that one? Where was I going with that one? Oh yeah, and like, yeah, so there's another one, there's like pasta pots where they're filled with like bits of chicken, and you look at it and just go, that is food poisoning waiting to happen. Again, even if you've seen the videos of the chicken, and then you've and you've seen how the chickens are like dipped into chlorine after they've been burnt alive or whatever, or throat slit, then bleached to get them, and then they're pumped full of saline water to make their chicken breast seem more plump than it actually is. You're like, you just know you're being scammed in every way, and it's just fake meat. Even when it's like, here's a chicken breast, how is this fake? You're like going, it's so wrong. And then when you realise like how much, like in the meat industry, how much shit is just pumped into cattle. What was it in the UK? 40% of all antibiotics are given to cattle. And you're like, well, you know, we're all told, like Christ, my kid's got like some like chicken pox or something. Not chicken pox, but like if your kid's got something and you go to the doctor and it's like, oh, he needs antibiotics for it. You're like, maybe I shouldn't. But yet the 5 meals you've ate that day have all been from animals that have been rammed full of antibiotics. Doesn't really help anything. And then when the other one is in the UK, BSE has just been announced again. And then you're like, okay, so that's bad. If we eat that meat, yeah, that could give us a fucking life-threatening disease. Then, what was the other one? They tested meat from all the supermarkets, and there's always like 7% unidentified DNA. You're like, what does that... Or like, there's a horse meat scandal. You're like, oh, people love horses. But like, there's like, oh yeah, oh, we all want to have meat where we know where it comes from. And then it's like, yeah, it's half of it's horse and the other half is unidentified DNA. You're like, what does that mean? It's from rats. It's rats that have like fallen into the same meat grinder that the horses have been in, that were meant to be cows. And you're like, you're literally eating rats and tumours. Or that's the other thing. Some of the stuff is like, well, it's unidentified DNA, and it's tumour DNA. You're eating cancer sometimes. And then, yeah, so then, there's nothing that makes me want to eat meat. There's nothing, apart from it's some of it's flavour, some of it's tasted, but there's nothing that makes me want to go down and go, I would rather have this pale-looking, slightly dodgy-looking bits of chicken floating around in some creamy dairy sauce, curdled up. You're like, not really digging it. Maybe just have an omelette with ham in it. You're like, is that ham actually ham? And then you always have the fucking do-gooders that are like, oh, I only have meat from the local butcher. No, you don't. Nobody does. That's why there's only like one butcher in a town, and there's like 15 supermarkets everywhere else. And even the butchers, how do you know the butchers knows where it comes from? And then there's then there's environmental aspect of it. You just kind of go, it's like, do I really want to be supporting industries which just screw animals? I don't know how. I really want to. Life would be so much easier if I could just give up being vegan. And it's not even like I talk about it, apart from to people like you. It's not even like there was a girl in my office. We've been working with her for about 4 years. She comes down, and the other girl I work with. Okay, 2 girls in my office. One I work with all the time. She's dairy intolerant. And the other girl came down and was like, hey, what are you guys having for lunch? And she's like, oh, I'm just having some pasta. And they're like, oh yeah, I couldn't have pasta without any cheese on it. And she's like, well, Dom doesn't have any cheese either. And she's like, why do you not have any cheese? And I'm like, because I'm vegan. She's like, you're vegan? Really? For how long? Like, the last 4 or 5 years? If I try to explain pro-vegan to them, it's just like, it'd be over their heads. So I just go, like, they know the word vegan. Most of them. But even when you say vegan, they're like, so what? So do you have fish? You're like, oh, right, okay, you don't know what veganism is. Yeah, actually, that was the point. Yeah, so for a lot of them, you're trying to explain just what veganism is. Never mind the subtleties of different moral and ethical minutiae details of whether you're going to beetles or bees or the pollination of avocados by farmed bees and all that kind of guff. So yeah, and once you've seen all the video footage of the horrors of the cows being slaughtered, and the cuteness of some of the animals, of pigs with their baby piglets, and then the baby cows being ripped away from their mothers, when you see the horror of the chickens being ground up, when you see the poor treatment of the animals being thrown into crates before they go to slaughter, the terrible condition, it's just like, you don't want to support it once you know it. But so many people just want to have their heads shoved in the sand and just not think about it. But if you're somebody who's connected with it, I just don't know how I could give it up, how I could stop. And again, for me, I'm somebody who's not benefited from veganism. But I think there's one aspect of it is a bit like, let's say you've got a kid and you put him into a school. And then a year later, you find out that the school, the teachers are paedophiles and they're abusing children. So you've suddenly found out about this. You take your kid out of school. And then after a while you go, oh, God, I have to teach my kid at school or teach my kid at home. There's no other schools to go to. I just need to, I have to do all the teaching, I have to do all the cleaning, I have to do all the feeding. Maybe I'll just put them back in school. You just like go, but you know that's bad on so many levels. Why would you do that? So yeah. I would love to give up veganism. Life would be so much easier not being vegan. It'd be great if vegan wasn't a thing, and it was a case that meat wasn't a thing. You know, it's like nobody ate meat. I'd love to live in what we consider now to be a vegan society, where we just didn't harm or abuse animals. I'd love it just to not be a thing. But I don't know how to not be vegan. I don't know how to not get those images out of my head. I don't know how to stick my head in the sand. Yeah. Don't know how to finish this one. But I will say, it's like the people that have been like total mega vegans, let's say like ninja warrior level vegans, and then gone to like full blown fish and eggs and chicken and all that kind of stuff. You just kind of go, he was obviously somebody suffering from veganism. I'm somebody who's just not benefited, but yet suffering socially from it. I just wish we lived in a better world. One that animals were happy in and humans were all nice animals. Let me know what you think, what your difficulties are. Let me know I'm not alone.